Hey y'all, Mike here with Raider Dog Ranch. Today I'm going to be doing a product review on this Milwaukee M18 18 volt 2 gallon wet dry vac I picked up not too long ago. What's included in the box is what you see here. It comes with this hose. This hose claims to stretch up to 6 feet. And there are two attachments. You have your crevice tool and more of a floor tool. The battery goes in right here. Again, this set did not come with a battery, but we will add a battery to it for testing. We're just going to use a simple little 1.5. It will hold up to a 9 amp hour battery, so it's a pretty big package for it. We'll go ahead and connect the hose. Just drops down in here. And there's a twist lock to lock it in place. And this is kind of how it stores. So you can see everything is contained nicely. Your power switch here on top, even with the battery. You just take that where you want to go. The canister is on the bottom here. Quick detach for you to empty it out. We'll look at that in a second. We'll talk about some of the specs on this vacuum. It does have a HEPA filter on the inside to keep that dust and allergens from blowing around in the air. This vacuum does have 45 cubic feet per minute. That's CFMs. That is basically the power of the vacuum. To give you an idea, I didn't compare this to other small battery powered vacuums, but for like a standard shop vac, one that rates 5 horsepower, for example, there's a Rigid that I compared it to. That one was 103 CFMs. So we're not fooling anybody that this is a highly powerful shop vac. That's not really its place in the market, in my opinion. This is just a very portable, easy to use solution for small projects that you don't want to drag out the full-size shop vac, or that maybe you are in a remote location and you need the battery power. The other thing I would say about this is the reason it can't replace the shop vac is this thing eats batteries. The data says even with a 9 amp hour battery, you'll get about 30 minutes of runtime out of this. So that's a giant battery, and 30 minutes of runtime is not much. So I have noticed that as I've used it. I don't have a 9 amp hour, but I do have a 5.0 and I think a 6.0, and those really probably only about 15 minutes worth. So I'd say their 9.0 high demand batteries, that's probably pretty accurate on their numbers. The model number of this Milwaukee is 0880-20. This is the previous year's model. They do have a newer model, a little bit different redesign. And I have to say, one of the things that I feel like is missing from this tool that does come, I'm pretty sure it comes on the new tool, is we do not have an adapter to put this hose. So notice that there's an exit for that. So I can even close this down and I don't have to keep opening and closing. Power switch is accessible. This is what I was talking about. There's not a port that lets you adapt from other Milwaukee tools. So this, obviously this is a Milwaukee tool. There should be a port adapter that'll let you go from here to here, because I think that's going to be the primary use of this kind of box. Is maybe if you're doing a project inside the house where you have to do some cutting, ideally you want to collect that dust, and this would be an ideal solution. Recently, if you watched my previous video, I installed cabinet hardware, and this is what I used when I was drilling the holes. So you know, drill the hole here, put this under it, clean it up, no mess afterwards to clean up. So it worked very well for that purpose. This actually serves as a decent seat, although it does say right here, it's not a step. It shouldn't be treated as a step, and to be honest, it probably shouldn't be treated as a seat either. Although, like I say, worked pretty well for me. All right, so you do have the crevice tool, good for cleaning out, you know, especially for cars and things like that. This is another good space that I see this fitting market-wise, is when you're trying to clean out your car, just a quick clean out, because again, a long clean out is going to take you more than 30 minutes. You're going to kill the battery, but just a quick clean out, you know, the kids spill something, you spill something, you can get that picked up. And then in the shop, or if you need a little more volume to pick up, this would give you more of a floor pickup. So those tools come with it. Nice little caddy to carry those. And all of this wraps up nicely into a complete package. It is a fairly quiet vacuum. I'll turn it on for you. It's always hard to tell what real volume is like when you're listening through your TV and on a microphone. But I'm going to talk at the same volume that I was talking at before. And most of the volume is coming out of the blow port here on the back side. Let's look at the dimensions on it real quick. Across the top, it's about 17 inches, a little short of 17 inches. It rounds out, so it's a little hard to see. 12 inches tall and about 8.5 inches deep. So it's very shallow. You can see the width of my hand basically. And again, the vacuum hose comes out that side and the blow port is on that side. If you needed to use this as a blower, you would take the hose, disconnect it here, put it in here, and yep, there goes locked. So now it can be a blower. It's actually pretty strong. Never tried the blower port. I do not have an elaborate system set up that I can show you the power of it. That's why I wanted to give you those numbers. Again, it's slightly less powerful, or slightly less than 50% of the power of a shop vac, a 5 horsepower shop vac. So what I would call a relatively powerful shop vac. This one's 45 CFMs. That one's 103 CFMs. The rigid one that I mentioned, I'll put that one in the little window below. So if we store this away and we need to clean out the canister, we'll just put that up. Unlike the bottom, there's a similar latch on the bottom, and that just lifts up. So you can see it's dirty. This isn't a new device. I mentioned that I've used it a couple of times. So just a nice, simple 2-gallon reservoir. This is a wet dry vac, so you could pick up liquid or solids with it. The filter just twists out. Always keep in mind, if you're going to do any wet vacuuming, you are supposed to take the filter out. You will ruin the filter if you try to vacuum with that filter in. There is a rubber seal around where the canister goes, so you don't have to worry about any dust escaping that way. So final thoughts, I'm very happy with it. It's exactly what I needed it to be. I didn't expect it to replace my existing shop vac, but it's perfect for small jobs, little projects around the house, especially inside the house. Really good for quick cleanups in the car, easy package to carry along with you, and it fits right into my Milwaukee M18 family of tools that I already had. The only thing that I feel like is missing that I mentioned in the beginning was the one additional tool, or adapter, really, it's not even a tool, that would allow you to go from the Milwaukee tool to some of these tools that already have dust ports on them. So I would like to see that. I'll probably add that if I can buy it separately. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.